October 17, 2022. FBI agents surrounded an unremarkable office building in the heart of Manhattan's Chinatown. And what they discovered inside would expose one of the most brazen violations of American sovereignty in modern history. A secret police station, operating illegally on American soil, controlled by the Chinese government, hidden in plain sight. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is not speculation. This is documented fact. And what you're about to discover will change how you see everything. In September 2022, a human rights organization called Safeguard Defenders published a report that sent shockwaves through intelligence communities worldwide. The report revealed something extraordinary, something alarming. China had established at least 102 illegal police stations across 53 countries: Europe, Asia, Africa, South America, and yes, the United States of America. But here's what made this discovery truly terrifying. These weren't embassies. These weren't consulates. These were undeclared, secret operations, violating the sovereignty of every nation they touched. The Chinese government never informed any host country through proper diplomatic channels. They simply opened shop. And in New York City, on the third floor of a nondescript building in Chinatown, the FBI had found America's first. The location 107 East Broadway, Manhattan. Third floor, operated by the American Chinatown Association. But this was no ordinary community center. According to court documents, this secret station was established in 2022 under the direct control of the Fuzhou branch of China's Ministry of Public Security. The Ministry of Public Security, that's China's national police force, operating in New York without permission. Let that sink in for a moment. On April 17, 2023, the FBI made their move. Two men, both United States citizens, both arrested at their homes in New York City. Harry Liu Jianwang, 61 years old, from the Bronx, former president of the American Chinatown Association. Chen Jinping, 59 years old, from Manhattan, Secretary General of the Association. The charges were severe: conspiracy to act as agents of the Chinese government, obstruction of justice. But what did they actually do? On the surface, the station offered innocent services, helping Chinese immigrants renew their driver's licenses, filling out paperwork, community assistance. But beneath this friendly facade lurks something far more sinister. According to the FBI's 30-page affidavit, in 2022, a Chinese Ministry of Public Security official contacted Harry Liu with a specific request: find someone, a pro-democracy activist living in California. Think about what that means. A foreign government using American citizens to hunt down a political dissident on American soil. Court documents reveal that Liu had spent years helping Chinese authorities track, harass, and threaten people living in the United States. In 2018, he was recruited to pressure a supposed Chinese fugitive to return to China. The method? Repeated harassment until compliance. This is called persuasion to return, a euphemism for coercion. Between April 2021 and July 2022 alone, Chinese police claimed they persuaded 230,000 people to return to China. That's not law enforcement. That's a global intimidation campaign. But here's where the story takes an even darker turn. When the FBI began investigating, Harry Liu and Chen Jinping knew they were in trouble. So, they did what criminals do. They destroyed evidence. According to prosecutors, both men deleted their communications with the Chinese Ministry of Public Security official from their phones. Every conversation, every directive, every piece of evidence that could reveal the full extent of China's control over this operation, gone. When FBI agents conducted a judicially authorized search of the illegal police station in October 2022, they seized the phones. And during consensual interviews afterward, both men admitted something remarkable. They confessed. They had deliberately deleted their communications after learning about the FBI investigation. Obstruction of justice. U.S. Attorney Brian Peace didn't mince words at the press conference announcing the arrests. 2 miles from our office, just across the Brooklyn Bridge, this nondescript office building in the heart of bustling Chinatown in Lower Manhattan has a dark secret. He continued, Now, just imagine the NYPD opening an undeclared secret police station in Beijing. It would be unthinkable. And yet, it happened here. In America, in the world's most powerful democracy. Fast forward to December 18, 2024. Chen Jinping stood before Judge Nina Morrison in Brooklyn Federal Court. Reading from a prepared statement, in Mandarin, translated by an interpreter, he said 5 words that confirmed everything. I knowingly acted. He faces up to 5 years in federal prison. Sentencing is scheduled for May 30th, 2025. But here's the question that should terrify you. If this was happening in New York, where else is it happening? Remember those numbers. 102 stations, 53 countries. Let me show you the scope. Canada, Ireland, Spain, Portugal, Italy, France, Germany, Netherlands, United Kingdom, Czech Republic, Brazil, Argentina, Japan, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand. And those are just the ones we know about. The European Parliament launched investigations. The Dutch government ordered stations closed. Canada's Royal Canadian Mounted Police confirmed 5 stations operating on Canadian soil. 14 governments launched official investigations. But here's what makes this a national security nightmare. These stations aren't just about tracking dissidents. According to Safeguard Defenders research, they're linked to the United Front Work Department. The United Front. This is the Chinese Communist Party's influence operation system. Their job to co-opt and control Chinese diaspora communities worldwide, to silence critics, to spread propaganda, to align foreign policies with Beijing's interests. In 2023, FBI Director Christopher Wray testified before a Senate panel. His words were chilling. It is outrageous to think that the Chinese police would attempt to set up shop in New York without proper coordination. Outrageous, and yet real. This wasn't an isolated incident. Since 2021, there have been over 60 Chinese espionage cases prosecuted on U.S. soil. Chinese nationals caught smuggling biological pathogens, active recruitment of U.S. military personnel, cyber attacks on American infrastructure, purchase of farmland near sensitive military bases. In 2020, the Justice Department charged multiple people in what they called Operation Foxhunt, a pressure campaign to force Chinese nationals to return home. The pattern is clear. This is systematic. This is coordinated. This is China's long-arm policing extending into the heart of American cities. So what does this mean for you, for America, for freedom itself? Imagine being a Chinese American living in New York. You escaped an authoritarian regime. You built a new life in the land of the free. Then you discover that the very government you fled has set up an office 3 miles from your home. They're watching. They're listening. And if you speak out against Beijing, they know where your family is, back in China. This is transnational repression, and it violates everything America stands for. Matthew Olson, Assistant Attorney General for National Security, said it best when Chen pleaded guilty. Today's guilty plea holds the defendant accountable for his brazen efforts to operate an undeclared overseas police station on behalf of the PRC's National Police Force, a clear affront to American sovereignty and danger to our community that will not be tolerated. A clear affront to American sovereignty. The FBI has created a dedicated website for victims of transnational repression because this threat is real, it's ongoing, and it affects thousands of people living in America right now. And here's the terrifying truth. The 102 stations that have been identified, those are just the ones operating openly enough to be discovered. How many more are there? How many remain hidden? How many people are being threatened, tracked, intimidated right now? This story isn't over. Harry Liu still awaits trial. His case is scheduled for February 2025. Chen Jinping will be sentenced on May 30th, 2025. He could spend the next 5 years in federal prison. But one conviction, one closed station, isn't enough. Because somewhere, in cities around the world, these operations continue. People are still being watched, still being threatened, still being forced to choose between their freedom and their family's safety. The question is, what will we do about it? Will we protect our sovereignty? Will we defend those who sought refuge in our country? Will we stand up to authoritarian overreach? Or will we allow foreign governments to operate shadow police forces in our cities? The FBI closed one station in New York, but according to Safeguard Defenders, there are still potential operations in Houston, Los Angeles, San Francisco. They could be operating in your city, right now. The secret police stations may be hidden, but now, you know the truth. For complete sources and references, visit the links provided. If you believe you or someone you know may be a victim of transnational repression, contact the FBI immediately. This is your country. This is your freedom. Defend it.